Today we are going to tell you the explanation of a movie based on a true incident, which shook the whole world. This is the story of Aron, who gets stuck under a 360-kilogram stone. How he stayed there for 6 days without any help, and how he came out by cutting his hand. Before starting the video, I have a request for you. If you like the story and expansion of the movie, then like the video and subscribe to the channel. You are not going to lose anything with your one like and subscribe, but it means a lot to us. Your small action can greatly value our hard work. So like the video and help us by subscribing to the channel. So let's start. The film begins with the introduction of Aron Ralston. Aron is a brave and experienced mountaineer who loves adventure and hiking. One day, without telling anyone, he takes his car and a bicycle and sets out for hiking. At night, he rests in his car. And in the morning, he leaves with his bicycle. He heads towards a deserted and remote canyon called Blue Zone Canyon, where very few people come to hike. While Aron is hiking, he sees two girls who have lost their way. The girls seem confused and upset. Aron goes to them to help them and asks about their problems. The girls tell them that they were hiking in the direction of the dome, but have lost their way and their map is also not understandable. Aron assures them that he is familiar with all the routes in the area and he will help them reach the dome. After this, Aron goes to help them. Aron gets ready to go and they all start walking towards the dawn. Aron himself shows the way to the girls and after walking some distance, he tells them, "I know another way, and I guarantee that if you guys go through that way, you will have a lot of fun." At first, both the girls hesitate, but then they agree to go through that way. Then the three of them move forward through a narrow path which is between two hills. That path is very narrow and dangerous, and they move forward by taking support of the walls of the hills. After a while, Aron suddenly falls down from that hill. Seeing this, both the girls get scared and think that Aron has slipped and fallen down. But in reality, it is not so. Actually, Aron knew that there is a small pond below, and he deliberately jumps into it. Then we see that from below, Aron asks those two girls to jump into the pond as well. They have no other option, so they also jump into the pond. After this, they all have a lot of fun there. After having fun for a long time, they come out of the pond. Aron has to continue his hiking, so he tells the two girls the way forward and asks, "Will we meet again?" To this, one of the girls says, "There is a party at my house tonight, you can come." After this, they take a selfie. After taking the selfie, Aron moves ahead for hiking. Now we see that Aron is moving forward through the narrow and tight hills. He is enjoying this exciting experience a lot. Walking like this, he goes further and suddenly he sees a big stone between two hills, which is stuck between the two walls. Aron moves forward taking the support of that stone. Then suddenly that stone moves, due to which Aron loses his balance. Aron starts falling down and along with that, the stone also starts falling with Aron. Then that stone falls on Aron's right hand. The stone falls in such a way that Aron's hand does not get hurt much, but that stone gets badly stuck between those hills along with Aron's hand. After this, Aron tries very hard to take out his trapped hand, but all his efforts fail. He had understood that his hand will not come out easily from here, so he starts shouting loudly and calling those two girls. But no one can hear his voice, because due to the narrow and tight walls there, his voice does not reach far. After thinking for a long time, Aron takes out all the tools from his bag, which he had brought with him. He finds a small knife in that bag, with the help of which he tries to cut the edge of the stone. But that stone is very solid and strong. Aron tries very hard to cut the stone with the knife, but nothing happens to the stone. Meanwhile, that knife falls down from Aron's hand. After this, Aron uses all his tools to make a trap, with the help of which he gets the knife back. Then he starts cutting the stone again, but the stone is so hard that the edge of the knife gets lost. Also, due to his right hand being stuck, he was not able to use much force. By doing this, night comes. Aron does not understand how to take his hand out, but he does not give up. He again starts cutting the edge of the stone trying to take his hand out. By doing this, it becomes morning, and now it has been 25 hours since Aron is stranded. Aron is very tired due to cutting the stone. After thinking for a long time, Aron turns on his camera and records a video. In that video, Aron tells that he has been stranded in this hill for the last 25 hours and had come here to hike without telling anyone. Aron also tells that he has very little food and only about 400 to 500 milliliters of water is left to drink. While Aron is making the video, he hears some sound from above. He thinks that maybe there is someone above who has come here for hiking, so he starts shouting loudly for help. But alas, there is no one up there, due to which he gets disappointed. Now after some time it becomes night and Aron gets hungry. He starts eating whatever food he has with him. While eating, he remembers that he was supposed to go to a party at the girl's house tonight, but he is stuck here. Then he also remembers that when he was leaving home, his mother was calling, but he deliberately did not receive the call. He starts thinking that if he had received that call and told his mother that he was going hiking in the Blue Zone Canyon, then perhaps he would not have to see this situation today. After this, the next morning Aron tries to pull the rock. He makes a pulley support rope mechanism to remove his hand trapped under the rock, but due to his trapped hand, he is unable to apply much force. So he pulls the rope with the help of his feet, but the rock does not move. Now it has been 3 days since Aron has been stuck there, due to which he has become very weak. He feels very thirsty, and he takes out his bottle and tries to drink water, but then he realizes that the water has finished. After this, he turns on his camera and records a video. In that video, he tells that now he has nothing left to eat and drink, and he is forced to drink his urine. He also tells that sunlight is also available there for only 15 minutes. Then he urinates in his bottle. Meanwhile, he sees some insects there, but they are at a great distance from him, so he is unable to eat them. Disappointed by this, he starts thinking that if he has to get out alive, he will have to cut his hand. Thinking this, he ties the upper part of his hand tightly with the help of a rope so that there is no more blood. Then he tries to cut his hand with a knife, but only a slight scratch comes due to the bluntness of the knife's edge. Aron gets very upset by this and turns on his camera again and makes a video in which he says, "Never buy local goods, and especially not Chinese goods at all, because when it is needed, it is of no use." In this way the night falls. Aron starts remembering his old days. He sees his friends and many old things in his dreams. Then suddenly lightning starts flashing in the sky, which wakes him up. He sees that there are dark clouds in the sky, and he understands that it is going to rain. Then it starts raining there. Aron first starts filling rainwater in his bottle. Now the rainwater starts flowing between those rocks as well, due to which water fills up between the rocks. Aron starts drowning in that water. Then he realizes that the gravity of anything in water becomes very low. Thinking this, he goes inside the water and starts pushing that stone upwards, and he succeeds in pushing the stone. After this, he quickly runs towards his car and sits in it, which saves his life. But in reality, nothing like this happens. All this is his imagination. Due to being alone, he starts getting strange visions and his mental condition is also not good. In this way, the next morning arrives. Now it has been 5 days since he is stranded here. He has lost all hope of living. He starts talking to himself and at the same time he starts recording the video in his camera. He tells that he loves his family and friends very much. While saying this, he becomes very emotional and at the same time he remembers that shopkeeper and says that if he had told the shopkeeper about his journey, then perhaps he would have filed a missing person report. Aron is making such a video because he felt that now there is no one to save him and he will die here. Now Aron once again gathers courage to cut his hand. This time Aron, instead of cutting his hand with that knife, stabs it straight into his hand. The knife goes straight into his bone and a lot of blood starts flowing. Aron feels a lot of pain, due to which he is unable to do anything else. In this way another day passes. The next day Aron is very weak and he thinks that if he does not try to get out of here today, he will be trapped here for the rest of his life and will never be able to get out. Now he starts having strange thoughts. He starts thinking that this stone was waiting for him since he was born, and perhaps this was written in his fate. Thinking this, he writes his name, date of birth and today's date on the wall of the hill and also writes RIP, because now he is completely convinced that he will not survive. Due to weakness, he faints right there. The next morning on the 6th day, when he regains consciousness, he starts seeing visions again. In the vision, he sees a child and that child is also playing with him. Due to this vision, He becomes emotional and a unique power arises inside him. After this, Aron bends his hand to break the bone and pushes it backwards. By doing this, his bone breaks. Then he sharpens the knife he has with him, and with its help he starts cutting his hand. He succeeds in cutting his hand while enduring that terrible pain. After the hand gets separated, with the help of his camera, he makes a video of that cut place and the hand stuck in the stone. After this, with great difficulty, he is able to get out of that mountain. At some distance, he sees the accumulated rainwater. Aron somehow reaches that pit and starts drinking that dirty water. Being thirsty for many days, he drinks water to his heart's content. But it was not easy for him to get out of there. Still, he does not lose courage and moves forward, enduring the pain in his hand and the heat. After walking some distance, he sees a family. Aron starts calling out to that family from there. Hearing his voice, they run towards him and then they call the security officers. After this, a helicopter arrives there and they take Aron to the hospital. A scene of a few days later is shown, where he is with his family and now he is completely fine. Now he has a son in his family, who looks exactly like the same child whom Aron saw in his vision. Despite all these incidents, Aron does not stop hiking, climbing, and doing adventure. Now wherever he goes, he writes his experiences in a diary. Friends, this film ends here. The most shocking thing is that it is based on a true incident. That is, all this really happened to Aron and the weight of that stone was 360 kilograms. Hope you liked the explanation of this video. If you liked it, then definitely like the video. And if you want to see the explanation of more such films, then subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching this video.